Awesome, man. Hey, finally we are doing this.
Still nervous.
What? Nervous?
Yeah, seriously. This is like my first.
I think you got
talk.
maybe you can just pull the, because this the boom mic, so maybe just pull it a bit over here and
I'm just
or
worried
whatever.
that it might bang on something.
No, it's all good. Do you hear a little bit of a buzz on the earphone?
Yeah,
A little bit, right?
yeah.
I think it's because of it's an unbalanced TS. That's why. Time to get some new wires, maybe. Yeah, usually not really an issue, but maybe could be because of that lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's me being a cheapskate.
I think everyone's. If I'm in your situation, I'll do the same most probably.
Nah, actually, I have the cables. Just that just need to get the right ones lah.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting it wired, man. So, finally, we're here.
Yay.
Yeah. You're the man who survived and made it to COVID.
Yay. Do I get any medals for that?
No. Oh, no. Yeah, you get great natural immunity. Yeah. But hey, thanks for doing this, Hairul.
No
And
problem at
it's
all.
great. Welcome to welcome to my studio. It is your first time here,
Yes.
right?
it is.
Yeah. And I always had this impression that maybe it's just me. I was always thinking about like, I've met people before, people have come to my studio before, but this is actually your first time physically being here lah.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, and I'm glad to hear. We were supposed to do this earlier as
Exactly,
well,
yeah.
but because of what happened,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that you, your family, everyone is now well and healthy and
Thank you.
and recovered, and
Yeah.
that's awesome lah.
Thank you.
Super awesome.
Thanks for having me, and then thanks for like inviting me and showing me around. Nice. I really enjoyed it. Like it's a really really nice place.
Yeah, no man, it's a pleasure, man. Yeah. And hey, well, maybe we will share this a little bit later on what you're doing. But are you back in KL? Are you still staying in Malacca?
Yeah, I'm staying back in Malacca. So after this session, I'll drive back to Malacca and then see my family there.
Oh wow, all the way. But was we affected anything in Malacca because of the floods?
Floods?
Mm.
Not in my place because the place we're living is quite higher ground
Yep.
as
Okay.
compared to I think the place quite near to my place. It's Lubuk Cina. It's near Masjid Tanah there. So those are the places that are badly affected, but not my place. Luckily.
Yeah. Fortunately, man.
Yeah.
It's been not a very cheerful season, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always say that December, New Year's, Christmas is supposed to be a festive and cheerful
Yeah.
season for everyone, but I actually kind of think of it, because we maybe here in West Coast we don't really experience it like how East Coast, Peninsular East Coast at least
But
having floods but yeah.
in Sabah, this happened quite regularly. I think yearly even. Like early this year, if I'm not mistaken, there's also like flooded areas in Penampang and where else? Dongongon, near KK area. So you can say it's a yearly event as well, a regular
okay,
event.
right? Yeah. Yeah. But just shows that we got to be thankful, man. What are we doing, man?
Yeah.
What are we humans doing to the environment?
I know.
Okay.
When I saw the aftermath of the flood, I saw all this garbage, and then like it's probably I wouldn't say this, but part of the reason that how this happened is because probably we just throw garbage around, so there are clogged drainage, and then the water just can't flow naturally.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
there's so many other factors. I mean,
And rain for 3 days.
yeah, the non-stop, the amount of rain that we receive in those 3 days was equivalent to a whole month of rain.
Exactly.
And obviously, whatever our rivers, our drainage just can't handle that amount lah.
Yeah.
Oh, and a lot of stuff. I mean, today, if today being 29th December, they are, again, this is more We can talk politics here, no worries. My channel, you can talk politics also. All you want, okay? We can talk about anything. Yeah. No holds barred. No agenda, whatever. So, yeah. They found out that actually, at least as far as in KL and Selangor, a lot of those flooded housing estates were meant to be water retention pond areas. They were designated as water retention.
Yeah.
But then somebody somewhere said, okay, we give you authority to develop the land, build houses there, and then it's what happened.
Yeah, lah.
Let's
I'm not sure if I should say this, but I think it's my opinion, right? The ones who are in charge or holds position from the 1980s until now, they shouldn't hold position because they're already in the government for like almost 50 years, 1980s, 1990s, 2010s, and then now it's 2020s. You are holding the power since like almost forever, like half our life. It's 40 years. This shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, man. I mean, not only because we can talk about things like whatever lah, being in power, corruption, all that stuff. But just for the fact of being that they're so out of touch with reality and what's happening now.
Yeah,
you just hand the reins over to people who know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like even in technology, like every 5 years things go obsolete. You are there since the 1980s. Aren't you like considered obsolete now?
Hell, well, yeah, there's so much capability that's in so much ability, talent, potential that's in the youth. Younger generation should just hand over the reins and let them handle and do things, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But when you are in control,
with
we wanna.
Yeah. Oh well.
You're not gonna let go of it.
Nope. Yeah. It's like a golem and the One Ring.
Right. Well, what or whatever analogy lah. Yeah. The One Ring lah. It's always a ring or a magic crystal or Miss Quest.
Yeah. It must be something that nobody wants to let go, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, lah, humans.
Yeah, indeed, humans, man. Yeah. Cool. So
very heavy intro.
Heavy, to start off with in such a super heavy way. Yeah. Well, let's now. So I guess this series of video and podcasting that I do, it's called MixChat.
Yeah.
And it's always great to whenever we work with musicians and other people, at least with artists and musicians, I get to hang out with them lah. Maybe after we're done, right? That's always the best part. We go to Mama, we lepak, we hang out.
Yeah.
That's before COVID lah. Yeah. Before MCO, before COVID. Yeah. But one thing that I don't get to chat a lot is with my other friends and people who are in the studio business, who are other engineers, other producers, because we're always trapped inside our own studios, our own cave, never get out. So, so I've done this with Chris, I've done it with Uno, and, so a mix and match. But I love to talk with, other engineers, other producers, and just get into their heads, get to spend a little time, get to know them, just, just chat and just shoot the shit lah. And we don't get to do that more often. I really love to lah, and just So what's we'll get to what's going on and what are the new stuff that's coming up in Lava. But just to maybe get a little bit of a sense of who Hairul Hasnan is. Let's go take a little rewind back to where it all started lah. Yeah. So like how did you grow up? What was your early education like? Not necessarily, don't have to go every single detail. I say, I went to this preschool. And this Tadika. Yeah, like education wise, and then from that, how did that evolve into getting into music and getting into audio? Yeah.
Right. So I was born in Kuching. I'm a Sarawakian lah. But then when I was 14, my family, the whole family moved to Sabah, Lahad Datu. So Lahad Datu itself is a really, really small town. It's like, how big is it? It's more or less like the town itself, right? The town center is more or less like TTDI, smaller even. Like only 2 or 3 shop lots and then that's it. Really small. It's in 8 hours drive from KK, I think. It's too far.
Wow.
You remember like a few years back when Sabah was attacked by the Filipinos? That was in Lahad Datu lah.
Attacked by Filipinos?
I think. Oh.
By the Sulu?
Yeah.
That's a bit...
PC.
After my Filipino friends and
oh no, like, no, it's not Filipino. It's the southern Philippines, I think.
Yeah,
the Sulu army.
Close to Sulu, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I remember that. Yeah.
That was in my place lah, Lahad Datu.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Back then I was in KK, so we were quite scared. But anyway, it's a really small place. I studied in Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahad Datu. It's a boarding school. So there were only like 20, 30 students in the whole batch, Form 5. So not a lot of students. So from Lahad Datu itself, there's only I think 4 of us in Lahad Datu who studied there. So after SPM, right? Back in school, I was quite timid. I'm not really outspoken. I was like the nerd in the class.
I think I can associate with that.
Yeah. So I'm not quite introvert lah basically. So after SPM, the 4 other Lahad Datu students, they were in a band, but they don't have a drummer. I don't play drums. I don't play music. I don't know anything about music back then, except for listening to music lah. So one day, they out of the blue, they called me up and then say, Hairul, do you want to hang out with us? I'm like, yeah, sure. Nak pergi mana? Bahasa Sabah lah. Mau pergi mana? Then they were like, marilah pergi jamming. And I'm like, oh, bah, saya tengok-tengok sajalah. So I'm just gonna go and watch. So went to the studio and then one guy just picked up the guitar, one guy picked up the bass. And then the other guy picked up the other guitar, and then that's one singer. And then they were like, do you play anything? Kau main apa-apa kah? No, I don't. Kau pergilah main drum sana. So I'm like, okay. So I just pick up the drumstick and then I just played the drums lah. We played, we played Skinhead songs, like those back in 2000. ACAB is quite famous, Roots and Blues. Yeah.
Punk rock.
Yeah. So while jamming, because I don't play any music, I don't play drums, right? That was the first time me playing drum. So obviously my hand and feet coordination is really bad. So I'm like chi-chi-cha, chi-chi-cha without any bass drums. Yeah, only the snare and the hi-hat. But they were really, my friends were really good. They because they jammed for years together. But the drummer obviously stayed somewhere else. So they were they gained quite a lot of attention lah, because other bands came and watched. Other kids came and watched us play. And then I remember there's this one day while we're jamming, and then because everybody was inside the studio watching, and then there's a few guys just looked at me and then just pointed and laughed like, kau tengok kaki dia tidak hidup. Like, because I don't play drums. I'm like, so they looked at me and pointed at me like, okay. So I was, I was self-conscious about it, of course. But then I took it as a challenge lah. Okay, kau tengok, you were pointing. Kau ketawakan aku sekarang, kau tunggu. So I took it as a challenge. So I went back home and then I just practiced air drumming. And then a few weeks after, we went back jamming, and then now you see me play. So
now you see the leg in motion.
Yeah.
The bass drum. Wow.
So that's how it all started lah.
It was like fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So we literally in Lahad Datu, before that you never picked up the sticks and
No. Same. I think most of my life, right? I always took what other said other people talks about me, I took it as a challenge all the time. Like even when because after I finished my degree, my SPM, went to the matriculation, and then I spent my first 3 years in physics with electronics in UMS. Studied physics with electronics. But even when I was studying physics with electronics, I started playing in clubs, in pubs. After SPM, I started went jamming with a few friends, and then the studio owner saw me play drums and said, "Hey, you quite good lah. Jom join my band. Main dekat sini, dekat situ kerja kahwin kan." So we went playing in kerja kahwin, went playing in pubs. So my result wasn't really good lah. Yeah. Obviously affected lah kan. Physics with electronics is not easy stuff, man. So my result was like 2.1, 2.2. The pointer is not really good. But of course, because my nightlife affected my day, my study.
Yeah.
So before I finished my studies on the third year, I was thinking to myself, right? Because back then my pointer was really, really low. It's 2.02, 2.01. Like it's, what do you call it? Hujung tanduk, telur hujung tanduk. It's
like borderline.
Yeah, borderline failing. Borderline failing. Because the passing pointer is 2.0. Lower than that, 1.9 is just fail.
Right.
And then with that result, it's gonna be really hard for me to get a job lah. Basically, with that result, right? So I was thinking like, I'm doing music, might as well try to do music, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I quit UMS, but I told the dean, because the dean asked me, why do you want to quit? I said, I want to try do music. And then he's like, okay, why just stay enrolled in UMS and then just change faculty lah, change to music. Because looking at your result, I know you're not you're not really interested in physics or electronics. So just stay in music and then just stay here, try to enroll in music and then continue lah, 6 years.
Wow.
So I took that decision, went back home, and then my mom asked me, why are you back home? I'm like, I changed lah to music. Oh, they were really,
wow,
really, 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 really upset about it.
That must have been, must have been hell, you know? Yeah. Where did you all speak for like, you just didn't speak, or how did they take it?
My mom cried.
Oh,
my dad didn't speak to me for quite a while.
Oh man, but yeah lah, parents can understand lah.
Yeah,
That's
of
their
course.
reaction lah.
Yeah. I understand. Like I think they're really quite worried about me doing music, because obviously I don't think anybody, like if you ask anybody, any parents who doesn't know anything about music, okay, let's say if your kids, if your child wants to study music, are you going to let them? The first thing that they are going to be worried about is what are they going to do after?
Can you get a job? Can you get work? Can you earn money?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're worried. So I totally understand why they felt that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I studied music, and then the thing that happened was, I remember during this music theory, the first class in music theory, I remember my lecturer asked everybody to introduce themselves lah. So if what's their background in music, blah blah blah, because apparently when you do degree in music, you need to know at least grade 5 music theory. You need to know how to read music. You need to know how to write. You need to know music theory scales, blah blah blah. I obviously don't have that. So everybody introduced themselves, and then came my turn, right? So asked me, my name is Hairul. I have zero knowledge in music. And then she was like, "Ayah, why lah? You take this student, you're gonna fail in music." I'm like, okay, because it's gonna take years for people usually to take from grade 1 to grade 5, like 2 years, 3 years from grade 1 to grade 5. So I need to take grade 5 exam in 13 weeks.
Really express and cram all that.
Yeah.
All that all that information and knowledge
in 13 weeks. And then because when she said that you can't make it, you're gonna fail, blah blah, I took it as a challenge lah.
Yeah.
So I got quite a good grade for music theory lah.
Yeah.
But lots and lots of sleepless nights, and like 2 hour nights,
Yeah,
2 hour sleep a day apa semua.
Yeah.
But that's how I got to where I am lah.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm sure, looking back now, that struggle, that struggle to try and get to where you are, right? It's definitely worth it.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Now that looking back into it, I'm quite glad that I have that kind of can-do attitude. And then, take everything as a challenge.
Yeah, you took it. Did you go into attitude of, I wanted to prove you wrong or something like that? Was it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the same like for drums. Okay, you laughed at me.
Yeah.
You pointed fingers at me, so I'm going to prove you wrong. It's the same with this in that situation to my lecturer.
Yeah, we're saying that. You're gonna fail, right? And it's yeah.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
Okay, man.
It's the same with how I did my masters and how I did my PhD. So because some people. They kind of like in my neighborhood in Kuching. You have
As long as we don't have to mention any names or anything.
It's quite typical when people say my parents my parents the neighborhood when they like to compare their children, right? So and then there's this one guy like, oh, my son is doing this. So what is your son doing? My son is studying music. Oh, ya ke? Oh, ada kerja ke? So okay, kau tunggu.
Yeah, man. But then here you are, man. Right now, yeah. Super, super, super awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that was so after SPM, it was UMS.
Yep.
The physics was how long would you
3 years?
spend it? 3 years.
Yeah.
So when did those 3 years did you switch over to?
After I finish, I'm supposed to graduate in physics electronics in 3 years, but I quit in my 3rd year.
And then switch over. So that
to music.
Then it was another 3 years in music.
Yeah.
So that's 6 years.
6 years in uni.
That's as long as, like studying
medical
or law or something like that, man.
Yeah.
6 years.
I'm like, once I finished studying music, right? The thing that I told myself, okay lah, luckily I don't have to belajar balik physics. I don't have to look at math. I don't have to do all this science stuff. I have nothing to do with it. I just focus on music. And then I do my PhD. Yeah, I have to do physics. I have to do maths.
Oh, there's all that.
There's all that. I'm like, okay, luckily I ada belajar physics.
Yeah. Actually, I have a similar sort of experience when you talk about like physics and all that. After Form 5, I went to, sorry to start trying to make this about me a little bit, right? But after Form 5, but actually it's a useful thing lah, so for anyone who's listening, don't think that whatever you learn that it's like, it's not useless, I'm not going to apply it. Sometimes you will. It will help. So after Form 5, I actually went to Form 6 because I didn't know what to do. That's why I decided to, I buy myself some time lah, Form 6 lah. Form 6 was a torture. It was horrible for me. There was physics, there was math, there was chemistry and everything. So I was okay. It was okay, physics, learning all those about, the gravity and then those really, really complicated stuff. Then after that, I went to ICOM to study music. But when I got to music, then when I got to study things like acoustics and all that, it turned out that this is really easy because compared to what I learned earlier in physics. This was like, hey, I already had all that knowledge there. It's like, hey, it applies even in
music,
acoustics, frequency. We talk about all those calculations. And it's like, hey, okay, that was nothing that really helped. Compared to coming, if I were to have straight away, start to learn about acoustics. And frequencies and all that. I would have been like, because things like interference, all that we learn in physics, actually applies in music and acoustics and audio as well. So it's like, okay, great, so it's useful lah. So
it is.
Don't discount whatever knowledge that we might have gone through lah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So after that, 6 years. When did you then head over to, because you went overseas, right? To study.
After 6 years, after I finished my degree in music, I started working with RTM in JB as a musician there for 4 years. I think more or less about 3 to 4 years lah. And then I went back to KK for 1 year to lead the diploma in music program in a college in KK. So while I was in KK, I applied for a scholarship from UMS. Applied for a scholarship to do my masters in the UK. So that's when I went to UK.
Right, yeah. That was in 2014 lah.
Yeah.
2014. And you went to which university?
University of York.
York, yeah.
It's a nice place, really, really nice place. It's quite expensive there, but compared to Manchester or Leeds, it's more expensive. But I think it's a really nice place.
It's a good balance. I would say it's not, in terms of cost of living, it's not going to be as expensive as London or something like that. But you still get, the exposure, the networking, the education.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, as compared to Manchester and Leeds, and the place is quite saturated with musicians already, because Leeds and Manchester is quite a busy place lah. But York, it's like a nice small town. It's more or less like Tanjung Malim area. It's like really small and then touristy. Quite a lot of tourists there. So there's not a lot of musicians there. Like, if I remember correctly, there's only like a handful of drummers there. So I was quite lucky. I ended up in York because that's where I got to know local musicians, and then I got to join a few bands in the UK. And then I had a great time, and then I had opportunities to earn a living lah. Every weekend I just play gigs with my bands.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, that was also where you first met Raining.
Oh yeah. Funny story. I'm not sure if he told you about it.
He talked about it, but that recap it from your side. Then I compare both your stories to match up.
So I think I was in third year or fourth year. Correct. Fourth year I think. While doing my PhD, and then my supervisor told me, okay, this one class, I need to. I'm going to talk about compression there, and your research is about compression. So why don't you handle this class and talk about compression, and then you can teach. You can talk about your system, the one that you developed for your PhD. So I'm like, okay. I went to the class. I teach about compression, blah blah blah, and then once the class ended, and then I asked if does anybody here have any questions, and then somebody put his hands up, and then this guy asked me, "Are you Malaysian?"
This Chinese guy.
Yeah. Are you Malaysian? And I looked at him. Kita orang Sarawak kah? I asked him, are you Sarawakian? Kita orang Sarawak kah? Cilaka. Did he tell the same story?
He told the same story, yeah.
Kita orang Sarawak kah? Cilaka. And then everyone was like looking at us, and then we started talking about because and then he asked me, how do you know I'm Sarawakian? Gini kau tahu aku Sarawak? I'm like because I've moved places quite a lot. Stayed in Sabah, stayed in Sarawak, stayed in Semenanjung. So Sarawakians have this natural features on facial features that are quite different from other places. So I guess correctly lah.
Yeah. It was a good guess lah. Yeah. Yeah. So he shared some. Yeah, he shared the same story as well.
That's right.
So that's super cool, man. Yeah. So the timeline, so 2014, this is like kind of 2018, 2019 already?
No, 2018.
It was 018 lah, yeah. Yeah. And then, so what after that?
With Raining?
After that.
After I finished my study. Did my master's in 2014 until 2016. Started my PhD 2016 until 2021 now lah. When I was in UK, I produced quite a lot of bands, local bands. I produced this one local band called Hypnotic Eye, and they got airplayed in BBC lah.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, that's like one of my
Yeah.
They at least my song got played in BBC, so it's fine. And then produced a band called Titik Dingin Damai while I was still in the UK as well. The way it works was they were back in KK, and then the two of the band members, my ex-student while they were doing diploma in college in KK lah. So asked me if sir, can you listen to my song? And boleh dengar tak lagu ni? And then tell me what you think about it. So I listened to it. It's really good. And then I said, okay, you record vocals and 2 guitar parts and then just send it over via email. So they send it, and I recorded it in their house, I think. Or just a really small studio. Yeah, it's a house.
Yeah.
Send it to the UK, and then I added things. I put my drum track there. I asked my friend to play the bass. Recorded a bamboo flute for one of the track, and then programmed gamelan for one of the song. And then sent it back to them, and then they cried while listening because I cannot imagine that it's gonna turn out like this. Wow. So it went really, really well. Got selected for to be the soundtrack for this one telemovie in TV3 called Hassan Tubo. Sabri Yunus contacted them and asked if he can use the song in the telemovie. So I think that's when they started to gain attraction lah. Because after a few months after that, Luncai Mas contacted them and then signed them under Luncai Mas lah.
Okay, what's the name of the band again?
Titik Dingin Damai.
Yeah, I mean the names. It's like I've probably read or seen the name somewhere before. I'll ask you for the link to the song video later.
Yeah,
And I'll probably put it down in the video description or something like that. Yeah, definitely check it out. Yeah.
And then after that, got to know Rining, and then went busking with him. I know busking. It's not really busking. Went to open mics session in the UK a few times with him, and then I told him, "Dude, your song is really, really good. Now, do you want me to produce you?" And then that's where
that's where it ended up.
Yeah. Me and
very, very cool. And that's a really great, awesome sounding album, man.
Oh, thank you.
I really enjoyed listening to it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think I told Rini the same thing. What was your now we can talk about him. Is it? Yeah. My impression when I first heard, because I think when I first met him on our virtual online chats, then he shared a link to his song. Then when I heard it, it's like, this is like, doesn't sound like, doesn't sound the way he looks. It's like, wow, this is like some, African American singer,
right.
It's like, wow. It's like, so I was like pretty amazed and blown away. Yeah. But what was your first impression?
Of Rining? Well,
musically.
Yeah, that's how, because the vocal is really unique. It's deep, very soulful.
Yeah.
And then the accent itself, it doesn't sound like how Malaysian's gonna sing it. I think like he has this kind of like international quality to his performance. And then I asked him, dude, have you went to any talent show or anything? Did he tell you that he went for audition in the UK for this one singing competition, The Voice, I think?
Can't remember. Yeah. Oh, did he? Oh, The Voice.
I think yes, The Voice UK.
Right.
He actually came to, I think, second level selection or something. Like only one more level before meeting the
right.
Yeah.
Before like the final
selections. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The only thing stopping him is because his visa.
Yeah.
That's, if not, he'll be in TV in the UK.
Because student visa, is it?
No, because he changed course.
Okay.
Did he tell you that he studied architecture?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah.
He studied architecture and then he more or less the same.
Yeah, same story.
Same story with me. Changed to music, and then the audition happened.
Yeah.
And then the visa already ended because he studied architecture.
Yeah.
So sayang lah, very sayang. And I told him, I'm going to produce you, but you have to trust where I'm going to take your songs.
Yeah.
So he has like this funky kind of style.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if he noticed at first, because the way he sings it is more like singer-songwriter, like Ed Sheeran kind of style, right? But I don't think that's where his strength lies, because his songwriting and his style is more towards like funk, black,
soul,
soul, like R&B kind of music.
Yep.
So that's where I took his song and then brought it the other the other way.
Yeah.
So there's a few times that he was surprised or kind of blown away listening to the final product that I gave him listen. It's like,
Yeah.
it sounds really different. Like, yeah, that's why I said like this is where your style fits.
Yeah, exactly, man. I think that's that's great, lah. That's awesome, and he also related the story of the challenge of doing the whole album during COVID,
MCO,
lah.
during MCO.
and the challenges, So yeah, so I mean, from your perspective, lah, making an album, what was what was the, I mean, what's the ups and downs? There's definitely ups and downs. I mean, what was for you? What was the most positive experience, or whether it's a single experience or a bunch? What was the hardest challenge?
I think the thing that really drives me is when the singer really trusts my judgment. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this to your song. You just trust me. Let me do my thing, and then I'll just give you a listen to the final product once it's done. And then when we have that kind of trust between me and the singer, I think that's where I feel I can bloom. I can bring myself to a higher level as compared to when the singer said, can you send me something I want to, and then after he listens to it, and then I don't like this, I don't like that. So I feel restrained in that situation.
Okay.
But if the singer says, okay, this is my song, this is a demo, I trust you, I'm gonna give it to you. You do what you think is best for the song, and then give me a listen to it. When in that situation, I think that's where I'm going to do my best lah.
Right. Okay.
As compared to and then the situation where I feel like really the downs of it, it's the other side lah. When the singer says, when I'm basically the audio engineer. So you know what it means,
okay.
right? Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When all the decisions have been made or are going to be made by them, and then my what do you call it? My place in the production side is just doing audio engineering. So I'm not really happy doing those kind of work, basically.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, when as producers, sometimes we work with different whole spectrum of artists and musicians lah. So for you like to you would like to be working with someone who can sort of entrust you with the project as a whole. Is it?
Yeah, the decision making process.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I know. So I want to pick your mind as well because as a producer as well. I mean, different styles. Everyone has got different styles. What about those that like you mentioned? What if you do come across those that like to be involved every single step of the way? Did you feel that it can be a bit of a hindrance to you? Do you personally feel that way?
Yes, I personally feel that way. I mean, because sometimes when I listen to a demo or a song, I already have the complete picture. I already have the what I'm going to do with it in my head. So once I have that, I already have plans on how to get to that place.
Yep.
To get the final result.
Yep.
But once they have like their own opinions towards it, so it's going to take way longer for me to achieve my objective. It's either that or I'm not going to have the freedom to decide what to do next. So one, it's going to take longer. Number two, we might not have the same ideas, the same concepts. And then the third one is I like to make decisions. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I just like to make decisions without somebody telling me what to do.
Okay. Cool. Right. Now that's interesting, man. Yeah. I mean, different people obviously, I have different, approaches to working.
Yeah.
What if they come with you? I don't know. Sometimes I feel that if they give you do you like your artists to come to you with a reference?
Yes, I always ask for a reference. Okay, they give me a song, and then I'm gonna ask them. Okay, how do you think? what kind of style do you have in mind to do this, and then they're gonna give me this. So I'm gonna ask them, okay, for this song, what do you like about it? Do you like the sound? Do you like the arrangement? Do you like the genre, or do you like the style? So, and that's from there. Then onwards, I have a picture of what they have in their mind, and then I'm gonna like embellish it and then make it better than what they have in their mind. So the problem is when I already have all the reference, I already have the picture in my head, and then once I do it, and then they change, like, oh no, I don't like this, and they are quite indecisive. So that's where the issue comes in lah.
Yeah, that's always the problem, you know. Or sometimes when there's too many references.
Exactly.
Then it's like, what exactly
What do
you want?
Yeah.
You know, or what exactly do you vision to sound like? You
Yeah.
know? And then then sometimes in these cases it feels like in the end then you better just leave it up to me as a producer and just take it to the
Next level,
direction that you feel that will best, you know, maximize and explore your potential.
Exactly.
Yeah, instead of trying to chase after this particular goal or something which you can't really achieve because you are not
That
there.
level, yeah.
Either you're not that level, or even for the basic, the simple factor of you don't have the budget
Yeah.
to reach that level.
You want an orchestra, but you only pay for a band. So how does that work?
Yeah, you know? So sometimes the challenge is always managing the expectations versus the reality. But, oh well, you know, we're always expected to deliver something that sounds like $1 million.
Yeah.
but with you know, indie budget.
Yeah.
That's always a challenge, lah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Let's move on to something, some more trivial kind of questions. What is your favorite piece of equipment, whether it was something you own or you wish you had, or you've used in the past? Not necessarily something that you currently own. Yeah.
So far, I think the one that I really, really like and quite impressed with it is the. Wait, let me. It's quite a long list, lah, basically.
Hey, it must only be one.
Yeah,
that's your favorite. Yeah.
The Mac EQ 4M.
EQ4M, the Mac. Oh, okay, right. Which because they have two or three visions, right? Yeah. And why is that? Any particular reason?
It's really easy for me to dial down and then get the tone that I want from that equipment. Like, I've tried the 8813 Neve EQ. Is it 8813 or is it 8803? I think. Yeah, not 8816. 8803 EQ. If I'm not mistaken, like the name. I tried that and then I compared it to the Mac EQ4. Somehow, it's probably just my ear lying to me or something. But the tone in the EQ4 it's easier for me to dial down get a really nice sound during recording, during tracking.
There's always the air, band, right?
Yeah.
It goes up to like 40K, right?
Yeah, 40K. Like yeah. Well, it's quite expensive, that one.
The plug-in version got what? Got the EQ2, EQ4.
Yeah.
Oh well, but of course, if you having the actual hardware would be cool, lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so more technical stuff. Which DAW are you using currently? Logic.
Yeah.
Always been a Logic person?
Yeah. But I teach Reaper. I teach in a few IPTAs. I teach Reaper, but I personally use Logic.
Right. That's actually an interesting question, because in terms of education, did you find it useful to teach the students Reaper? Is that a reason why? Because it's...
the reason why is because it's free. Because because in UK we also use Reaper. You have the freedom to choose whatever you want, but my supervisor taught me in Reaper. Part of it is because one of the program is for me to program my own plugin.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to do some programming in Reaper using Reaper's.
Because it's open source, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reaper's programming language lah.
Mm.
So and then the other reason is because it's really accessible. No, everybody
Right,
can have
correct.
it. Everybody can download it without having to do illegal stuff to obtain the
Yeah.
the AW lah.
Mm.
So that's the reason why.
Yep. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. I seem to see that shift because it used to be, everyone had to be Pro Tools, or like in I don't know whether they still do that in ICOM lah, but I remember in ICOM it used they like you had to buy the MacBook with Logic and you had to learn it. You were literally forced to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's might be a shift in education to kind of be a little bit more, for the fact of just being accessible lah.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can afford to
To buy it.
Yeah, it becomes such a hindrance, a barrier for students who may come from lower
Income,
or middle class income groups to afford it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool, man. That's very interesting. Okay, next question. What is your decision processes what's your sort of decision making process that helps you determine what's the next thing you want to buy or next thing that you want to get? And what's the next thing that you're gonna you plan on getting?
Next, it always depends on my needs, not my wants.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you being honest, perfectly honest?
Yeah. It's the thing that I really need now is obviously a pair of monitor speakers. But for me to have that, I need to have my own place now first, because there's no point for me to buy a monitor speaker without having your own place, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing that's stopping me from having my own place is a permanent job, basically, because I'm still applying for a permanent job here and there, because I just submitted my PhD thesis. And once I've submitted, get the Senate letter from UK, then I can start working lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once I start working, then I know I'm going to stay in this place and then start my own studio. So without monitors, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really hard for me to do like mixing lah.
Mm-hmm.
But the next purchase that I'm planning is just a channel strip lah. Just a vocal channel strip. That's
right. Okay.
With a noise gate EQ compressor.
Really cool. Really
cool. I think the one that fits my current budget, because I'm still kind of jobless now. The one that fits my budget is the DBX 286, I think. 286 is around 700 ringgit, 780 ringgit.
Dude,
more or less.
I have one sitting right down here right now in the box
DBX
that's not open.
Christmas present. So yeah, I'm going. I it's DBX 286, right?
I think so. Yeah. It's like it's around that price.
That price,
that one, yeah.
That's what I'm planning to buy lah.
It's still in the box. I haven't. Because I was supposed to fix it inside.
All right.
Studio B, but I have not gotten around to doing it. It's been sitting in the box for like 6 months.
What do you think about it? Like, what made you purchase it?
I'm quite a fan of the over easy compression.
Yeah, compression.
Yeah, I kind of like the how the feel. It's the gentle, the curve. I really like it. I mean, in fact, in my main channel there, I actually have a DBX 160.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So I have that as one of my compressors as well. Yeah.
Do you often use the 160?
All the time. Yeah.
For the vocals?
For vocals, I do it's actually two compressors in series. It's the DBX 160 and then 1176.
1176.
Yeah. So I've got these two. So actually, when I'm actually using both compressors. Yeah.
You're using the DBX for just fixing clean compression, and then the 1176 for the saturation, and
just for the not
tone.
really for the saturation. A little bit, of course, because it does impart.
Yeah.
But the main The 160 is just for like 2-to-1
Yep.
over easy.
Mhm.
Very, 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 very
Right, light.
light,
Yeah,
clean.
light.
Then the 1176 is just for the peaks.
Peaks. Right, cool.
Just to catch the peaks, just to smooth things out.
With fast attack.
No, slowest attack, fastest release.
All right.
Yeah. I just let the transients through.
Yeah.
Then just to give a good starting point lah.
Yeah.
Less work later on.
Exactly.
Down the line.
Yeah, like one of my students asked me, okay, sir, what's the difference between using hardware and plugin? Why would people buy hardware when you can have everything in plugin?
Yeah.
So I told him like, you try to imagine while recording you have everything compressed and everything already EQ'd. Do you still need to do like any mix EQing or compression afterwards? Then it's like, oh yeah, kan. Then he started thinking, oh okay, that's why I need it, because everything already sounds good while tracking.
Yeah, while coming in lah.
While tracking,
incoming, the inbound signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It already save lots of your time, and then you just have to just balance it, do some automation.
Yeah. It really sounds good on the way in. Yeah. But of course, for the way we teach, obviously if it's newer, you got to know what you're doing lah.
Of course lah.
Yeah, because once
it's recorded, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't undo.
You can't undo the processing lah. Yeah.
But I think like my students nowadays, I told them you need to decide, and then you need to hold on to your decision in everything you do in your life, while doing mixing or recording and everything. You have to decide, and then you have to stand firm with it.
Yep.
Because sometimes people they don't have the tanggungjawab, responsibility,
commitment.
Yeah, commitment. Yes, that's the word. They cannot commit to
exactly.
It's not they cannot. It's hard. It's hard for them to.
Is that there's the fear?
Fear. To commit. But you have to do that in life.
Yeah,
you have to commit.
And it's not just in recording. It's not just in a lot of things. In
life, basically.
In life, Yeah.
You have to
in
commit.
A lot of life's decisions as well.
Exactly.
It's just something that applies for music production. Yeah. It's everything in life as well.
Piece of wisdom there.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. 2021 wisdom, but by the time I put this video, it's probably 2022. Yeah, excellent, man. Yeah, super excellent. What other stuff? Let's see. I got a bunch of questions, even though I said this is not meant to be scripted or anything, but I have some of things which I want to outline lah. Let me skip forward. Maybe let's talk about besides you mentioned earlier actually some of the projects that you were very proud with. Right. I think you mentioned there's of course Rening's album. That's the most recent one. There was the band Titik
Dingin Damai.
That was one. And there was the other band which you produced in the UK.
Yeah.
What was that called again?
Hypnotic Eye.
Hypnotic Eye.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What besides those three? Do you have any projects which you've been very, very proud of? That you want to reflect on or something like that?
Music wise or publication wise or anything?
Music wise first, or even other than that. Yeah, we'll get publication. We'll get to that.
My recent project is doing post production works, audio post production for a short film called Anomaly. Which was selected for premiere view in Jakarta Film Fest back in November, and then it was also chosen for viewing in Spain Aguila Film Festival, I think, in December. I think that's one of my proudest moment lah, because that's basically my first project doing post-production works for short film, and then it went that far. So
wow.
I cannot imagine that that can happen lah in my life. Like if I go back, if I have a time machine, I go back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, told myself, okay, you're gonna do this. I'm gonna slap myself, and then no, you're just kidding, right? I cannot believe it. Like it's surreal for me, lah.
Wow, right. That's cool. That's definitely something to check out. Yeah, man. I mean, so much good stuff that doesn't get into the mainstream news and mainstream media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely worth checking out. Yeah.
And then other than that was obviously me presenting my paper in Berklee College of Music back in 2019, and also in AES conference lah, back in 2019 in Dublin. I'm not sure if any Malaysians have presented in AES before, in a conference.
I don't know, man. Any recent memory? I'll have to ask with like CK, the founder, whether or not back then was there anything? Yeah. Was there any footage of this available, or was it in? This is in Dublin. Is under UK, or is it under Ireland?
Ireland.
So they would have. Would there be any archive or footage of that we can find?
I'm not sure, but I can ask. I'm not sure if they have any recordings of the conference or the talk that I gave.
Yeah.
But if there's any, I'll forward it.
Speaking of which, man, waiting for you to one day, we'll organize one conference for you here, and we'll do it. We'll record it. We'll cover what you talked, man.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, because you mentioned briefly about how do you describe it, the compression that you described, that you conceived the idea. What do you call it again?
Nonlinear mixing system.
Nonlinear mixing system.
Yeah, nonlinear mixing system. So basically, you have, let's say there are four. Now here there's 3 channels, right? So you sidechain this to this to this. Everything is sidechained together.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do any changes in one channel, it will affect basically anything else.
Okay, this one we will need a really in-depth, like a webinar for you to do it whenever.
And I can show you the architecture and all the calculations lah.
Yeah, this one we will need like a proper conference meeting to do this, to present. Yeah. Whenever, next time we will plan it, man.
2022, right?
2022 plans, yeah. Plans for 2022. But that's super, super cool. All right. So let's see how what are your favorite, let's say, records lah. If you have a desert island, it's a cliche question lah. What are your desert island, your top 3 records musically, albums or singles or whatever,
right,
that you take with you?
The first one is Deftones, the album Koi no Yokan. Are you familiar with the album?
No, not super familiar with Deftones. But this one is the which year was this?
I think 2018.
Mm-hmm. This is like not too long ago. Is it the most recent? Is it the most recent one?
No.
Right?
After this album, there's 2 more albums, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But Koi no Yakan it's I think I love it. I just love it. It's quite difficult for me to explain why I love it. Mm-hmm. It's probably the arrangement or the tonal quality of the album. I like the sound of the guitar. I like the sound of the bass, because the bassist plays a 4-string guitar, but then the guitarist plays an 8-string.
Mm-hmm. Like a detuned,
yeah. So you have this contrast between bass and guitar. Guitar is already tuned low, but how does the bass cut through that tone, the big low tone? So it's quite interesting.
Right,
I like it.
Right, yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2 is the album by this producer called Perturbator. Perturbator. It
sounds like a bad word, but
yeah.
Okay,
no, it's not.
It's not. Okay, trust.
Yeah, it's a Perturbator. I think it's French musician. The genre is dark synth.
Dark synth. Okay.
Yeah, dark synth. So basically, this guy is a black metal guitarist, but then he shifts over to synth wave.
Okay.
But bringing all this metal influence into the arrangement, the sound is just amazing.
Wow. Okay.
You have to listen to it.
Okay.
And then the third one is quite challenging, because there's quite a lot of. But these 2 are my to-go album lah. Because these are the two albums that I listen to quite a lot of times while with either I'm just chilling or doing my work or driving.
Wow, but then you produce like for an indie band, and you produce for a soul R&B artist, but then you're listening to like heavy dark stuff. It's like, wow, okay, how does that translate? Yeah, but those are the things the records that you listen to lah.
Yeah, quite a lot.
Wow, okay. Yeah. That's super, super cool, man. Yeah. Because I'm trying to make the connection. But then the stuff that you produce for other
different.
artists, it's different, Well, that's cool. That's fascinating. Yeah.
Because if not, when I'm not listening to these two albums on a repeat, I'll just go on Spotify and then just randomize it. And then if there are things that I find interesting or things that I think, this I can do this for this artist or blah blah blah, I'll just put it in a long playlist of things, kind of like a reference playlist.
Yeah,
but it's more not sound or audio engineering wise. It's just production. Like how do they the instrument selection, how they basically just production stuff lah.
Yeah. But I don't know about you lah, but when again it's more back to the question of references. Sometimes when again clients send you links to like a YouTube link or YouTube video or Spotify, and then you listen to it, it's like, unless do you have premium?
Yeah,
you have premium. How's the quality on the premium compared to the regular? Is it huge improvement?
Not so much.
So much.
Not so much. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Right.
Because like the premium one, you can stream 320 kbps, right? And then for
but it's still AAC lah.
And compared to the free account, it's 128, and 128 it's not that.
It's okay for listening.
It's okay just for listening lah.
But yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, the references are always, it's like, you can hear the quality.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels like, do I have to degrade my thing to match how it sounds?
Sounds, yeah.
To so that it's the expectation for the
client.
artist, yeah. It's like, anyway,
Yeah.
So the things that you and I, as engineers and producers, we struggle with.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I asked him, like, if the client sends me this and reference, I'm going to ask them, what do you like about it actually?
Yeah.
Do you like the sound? Do you like the arrangement? Do you like the how the instrument works with one another? Or so I'm just going to ask them, what do they like about it? And most of the time, they don't really talk about sounds. They don't really talk about, I like the graininess or the quality audio. No, most of the time they like, I like how the guitar sounds here. So I like So I'm just gonna pick this guy, whatever that he likes, and then try to mix everything in my head lah.
Yeah, I find that process is so important. That and sometimes it just takes a bit of time. But sometimes it can be a struggle when sometimes the production cycle is very fast. It's like a maybe that happens more in the more commercial things. Yeah, because they like, we want it to sound like this. That's on top 40 the charts right now. Then that can be easiasier because we just make it sound like that. Follow lah.
Just follow lah. Template.
But when you're working with bands and artists who may not necessarily be whatever the sounding like top 40 or stuff, then that process is really important. You need to sit down and just spend time with the band, get to know them. On a personal level.
Yes.
And all that. Yeah.
That's why for me, when I choose to produce somebody, I always because there are times when my friends will recommend me like, try to produce this guy. He has like really good songs and everything. Or somebody asks me, can you produce me? I'm gonna get to know them personally. What's their character like? Are they moody? Are they happy? And then just try to get into their head how they think. Then it's easy for me to know what they want.
Yeah.
Rather than just give me a song and then I just produce whatever.
Yeah.
You need to know the client on a personal level.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Instead of just taking it as like this one is a job, it's another project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that sometimes, I have to tell myself that, because sometimes there are some cases where because of again timeline and deadlines.
Yeah.
But if the artist can afford to take the time to really craft and build that relationship, I think that usually ends up with a better product, instead of trying to rush lah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's a very, very good insight on that as well.
That's like with me and Rening lah. I tried to get to know him like for 6 months. And then a year after that, or more than a year after that, then the album is done. Because we were friends first.
Yes.
And then
that really helps so much, man. Yeah. Even before the conversation of let's make the album, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Who initiated the idea? Since now we're circling back to Rening. Yeah.
I can't remember. I think I offered. Hey, dude, kau mau buat album kah? So I'm like, kau nak buat album sih. So it just kind of happened naturally because I was a drummer in playing for him, and then it just naturally happens.
Yeah. So yeah, because sometimes it's like, okay, that idea was it kind of already in his head, or did you have to plant it in his
making an album?
Yeah.
It's already in his head.
It's already in his head lah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I don't think he told me he wants to do an album or something like that.
But then you sort of like, poured the water on the seed, and then it
bloomed.
They started germinating from there lah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Because it's always cool to sometimes say where the idea came from, where there's always some origin.
Oh yeah. He was for his master's project. The final project is him having to record I think half an hour's worth of music works, I think. So I recorded I think 3 songs for him, and then he recorded under other bands lah. So from then onwards, like, okay, from 3 songs, why not just make it an album kan, macam tu kan? Yeah. So I think that's how it started. I think, yeah, if I remember correctly lah, he wants to do he needs to do his masters, needs to do recording for his masters, and then he got a really good point, like for that project. He was the best recording for that session, for that batch. He won SSL plugin for I think for free. Yeah.
Okay,
so the uni gave him like SSL plugins.
Wow.
He didn't tell you this.
I can't remember whether I'll listen back to the recording. I will remember. Maybe I was not necessarily, I might not have dug into that angle, you see, and to where it is. Wow, that's cool, man. Yeah. But yeah, it must have started from there. Yeah. That's super, super cool, man. Yeah. Well, talking about starts, talking about Renings, let's try and wrap this up, with what's in store for you. What are the new things that are up and coming? Do you have any new upcoming projects? You have something also that you want to share with us?
Yeah, there's quite a few actually. Like I think you might know this, but I've started my own label, my own company, Madiwangsa Music.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. Madiwangsa. So the plan next year is to produce at least 40 songs, which is 1 album. 2 albums basically. So one is Rening's second album, and then the other one is a band from KK, Laras dari Rasian. So that's already 20 songs, and then 4 or 5 EPs, and then a few singles lah.
Nice.
Those are 40 songs for 1 year, which should keep us really, really busy the whole year.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of songs. And then my book.
So, yeah. Let me point this towards the camera. This is your book, man. Tell us more about your book,
Yeah, so this is Asas Rakaman and Produksi Muzik. Although, like, a few of the people who read this, they said, this is not Asas. This is already like advanced stuff. I'm like, okay, is it? Is it? What do you think? Have you read?
No, again, no, I mean, I've read
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
because you were gracious enough to send, me and a couple of others the like to proofread the thing,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a good balance, a good blend, because again, if it's too simple and too basic, you can just go online
Exactly.
and search it up and read it. But I think it's important to have, a book which has, yes, it has the basics, it has the asas, but has enough substance in it that, allows whoever's getting into it to take the next step into a next level lah. Yeah, you're not just hanging it there, leaving them hanging there, and then, oh, how do I get to the next step? You see, so I think it's good. It's good enough. It's you've got the you've got the introduction, you've got the easy, like when you want to feed a baby, you start off with, milk, then, but there's enough of that solid food so that they can transition to, a much more,
Substance,
solid diet and more substance there lah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I sort of, that's my point of view lah.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I think, that is, and the awesome thing, I think this is also the first ever book of this nature that's written in BM.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's a challenge actually. Like the thing about music. I cannot say music education, music scene. The thing about our language. That's probably the right word.
Yeah,
it's really hard for me to find the right word to explain or to describe things in music, basically. For example, try to compare an electric guitar sound and an acoustic guitar sound. In English, you can say like the acoustic guitar sounds warm, it's fat, and probably there's some muddy frequencies that you need to EQ. And then for guitar, it sounds slightly bright, electric guitar, right? But slightly bright, depending on how you record it, blah, blah, blah. But how do you explain it in Malay?
Yeah.
Bunyi dia panas. Macam, kan?
Yeah.
So it doesn't the sound, the word sounds awkward. Like, so I think that's my next step lah. Once I go into academia, I'm gonna try to standardize. Is that the right word? To come up with a set of thesaurus.
A whole glossary of like
words,
proper terms that will have the equivalent in BM lah.
Yeah, to describe the tonality of sound. That's because that's basically the most important thing for audio engineers. Yeah. Because you need to be able to explain to your client, or the client needs to be able to explain to you what they want.
Yep.
And then, okay, the simplest thing, like, okay, I don't like the sound. Saya tak suka bunyi gitar ni. Kenapa? Sebab
right,
it's hard to explain.
I find that challenge also. It's like, sound dia basah.
Kan? Macam,
but actually, when you talk about distortion basah, it's not talking about the reverb.
No,
it's a totally different meaning.
Yeah.
Which, like, when I first heard it and encountered it, it's like, what do you mean? I didn't put any reverb on it. Yeah, kering lah. The tone bunyi kering. It's like, oh, okay. It means a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Super cool, man. Yeah. I mean, was that part of your motivation to why you wanted to write this book?
I would say part of it, because my once I came back from the UK, the thing that the thing that people told me quite a lot is that it's really hard for me to understand compression. Susah lah nak pakai compression ni, aku tak faham lah. So I'm like, okay, there's quite a lot of information online. Ada banyak boleh baca. Kau boleh cari je, scan. And then they're like, tapi kami tak faham lah bahasa Inggeris. Especially to those people who are not well versed in English lah.
Yep.
And then thankfully, I'm lucky enough to be able to study overseas and then learn in depth about compression. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to write about compression. That's the first article that I wrote. Right. I think it's a 6-part article on Facebook talking about compression in depth. About different types of compression, FET, opto, blah, blah, blah. So the motivation was trying to educate my students on how to use this device.
Yep.
Then from that onwards, they were like, yeah, okay, sir, kalau macam ni, then the questions came lah.
Wow.
Then early this year, 2021, because last year, 2020, I started like my own thing called Kaji Bunyi at first, right? You remember? Kaji Bunyi. So that was me doing everything my own. I find it hard because not everybody has. We have different talents. Like, okay, if you're good in this, you might not be good enough in this. For me, my weakness is marketing and social presence lah, social media presence. Because I'm naturally introvert, so it's hard for me to do marketing. And then there's this. So it didn't really go anywhere. Even though I have the products, I have the knowledge, like it's hard for me to put it out to the market. Then I met my partner now lah, Rilham, last year. The story was I was invited to judge this songwriting competition in online songwriting competition in KK. So he was one of the contestant, and then he's a really good songwriter. And then I asked him, are you attached with any companies or blah blah blah? And then he said no, he's already he's a freelance. Then I asked him, do you want me to produce you? I can produce. And then he's like, no, I like to write songs. I like to give somebody else to sing it. I'm like, okay, he's a good songwriter. He has songs. He don't like to sing. Nice. Enough for me because I don't write songs. Okay, I know how to produce. He knows how to write. So we just need to look for clients. So I'm like, okay, he's a really good partner. For me to have in a team. Yeah. So I asked him, where do you live? He lives in Selangor. And then I came to Selangor. Asked him to lepak. And then got to know him better. He's doing marketing. He's doing his own business. I'm like, okay, you can write songs. You are doing marketing. So it's just a right guy for me to know lah, get to know. Yep. So I asked him if he wants to join my venture, and then that's where everything starts lah. And then he asked me, okay, you want social media presence? Fine. Okay, you do this. One of the things he wants me to do is to write one article every day. So in January, the whole January, 1 month, I sat in front of computer. I typed everything I know. It's there lah. Yeah. But I didn't plan to turn it into a book. I just wrote articles
for social media.
Social media. And then that's how Madiwangsa started to gain traction. And then towards I think May, April, June, more or less, in the middle of the year, I got quite a lot of people asking me, sir, bila lagi buku nak keluar? Kau tak nak bukukan ke benda ni? Kalau ada saya beli. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. After like enough people asking me if you want to, and then considering me being jobless, I'm like, might as well lah. So
yeah, all right. So that started in like mid 2020. Yeah.
No, mid this year.
This 2021.
2021.
Okay, I thought it was 2020.
No, 2021. 2020 was Kaji Bunyi, and then it ended. Right. Started Madiwangsa early 2021.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just checking on the timeline. So how long did it take you to write everything in here?
I think about 90% of the articles are in 1 month. And then
in January then? That month of January.
Yeah. But it was like one article, different. It doesn't have any continuations to it. Yeah. But started in May. Once I had like enough interest of getting the book, I'm like, right, let me read all my articles again, and then just separate into sections. Right. Yeah. And then just make, what do you call it, a time, how
organize it into the chapters and all that.
Chapters, right? And then connect one articles to the other, and then the other.
Yeah, and there we have it, man. Bahagian 1, pra-rakaman. Bahagian 2, rakaman. Then going off to bahagian 4, perprosesan. Then bahagian 6, penutup. So 6 parts. Yeah. Awesome. Super. Yeah. And now I got the physical copy in my hand, man. Really nice. Right?
Thank you. I hope you like it.
Where? So tell people, where can they get the book?
It's on Madiwangsa Shopee.
Shopee.
Yeah, Shopee. I think that's the best not the best. I think
the easiest
easiest platform.
is
Yeah. Because if I need to send it to what do you call it, big bricks and mortars, like bookshops, I need to have to do quite a lot of preparations for me to put the books in bookstores now.
Yep. There's a lot of paperwork, and people can just get to you directly nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's the easiest way to get it.
Yeah.
What other alternatives? If people don't want to use Shopee, for example, if they want it directly,
Sure.
You can get in touch with you directly.
Yeah, just send me. Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave all your contact info lah in the video. In the video description. Down later on. So I'm also gonna be. I mean, I'll share this later. I'm also, because I got myself a copy as well. That one I'm gonna be giving out to one viewer, one of the subscribers or somebody. I'll do a little giveaway lah out of that lah. But yeah. Asas Rakaman and Produksi Muzik, man. Check it out. Get this book out. And what's next? What else is in store? Madiwangsa, you mentioned already. Upcoming projects for 2022. Anything else you want to share with folks out there?
I was invited. I'm actually invited to conduct a mixing production workshop in Sandakan. That one will be in the end of January. I think 28th until the 30th of January. Seats unlimited, only 30 people, of course, because of the SOP, right? Only 30 people are allowed to enroll for this. So I'll also send the details. I'll send the poster, I'll send the poster to you.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's super cool. Definitely, I'll definitely share it out. And when that comes out, man. Yeah, right. You need someone to carry your bags for you, to anything like that.
Let me think about it.
I'm just kidding, man. No, the reason why is because I've never been to that part of Sabah. It's always been KK Labuan, and that's also been so many years already. Yeah.
Sandakan is a really nice place. I've been there quite a few times. I have lots of friends there, Sandakan.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I do know some people from there, and then it's beautiful, and then the places there, and the seafood is fantastic. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So it's I always want to at least go to that. The east coast of Sabah.
Yeah.
Must get there lah.
Yeah.
Eventually. So it's if there's a chance or something like that. Yeah. I think there was supposed to be this year or last year some workshops also. That's also under Cendana and all those sort of things. But I think it never happened because of obviously all the COVID and all that. So it never actually did happen. So that was my
ticket.
Yeah, that was my ticket to go there. Because I think they were planning to do it in KK and I think Sandakan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they were planning to do that. Oh well, maybe next time. Hopefully, 2022 or and beyond.
And beyond, yeah.
Yeah, how do people reach you, man? In social media?
I have Facebook, Instagram. My Facebook is facebook.com /Mr. Hairul. One word, Mr. Hairul.
Or they can also search for Madiwangsa Music, right?
Madiwangsa Music. They can look for Madiwangsa Music on Facebook. And the same with Instagram. Yeah, and YouTube.
And YouTube as well.
Yes.
Okay, super cool, man. Yeah. Thanks for doing this, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool.
It's great fun.
Yeah. Likewise, man. So check out the book, everyone. Get a copy of the book, and you do not want to miss out. I say this is compulsory reading material for anyone who is going into home recording. It's more than just the basic, man. More than just Asas, man. Yeah, this is some good, substantial knowledge there for anyone out there.
Easy to digest.
Yeah, easy to digest. Thanks for doing this, man.
No problem.
All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.